the union bill, Oklahoma State Senator David Holt is demanding what he is calling a tasteless ad, the one you just saw, to be pulled from the airwaves immediately. Joining us now to talk about this, Simon Rosenberg, president of the progressive think tank in NDN, and also former campaign advisor to President Clinton, plus former speechwriter to President George W. Bush. Mark Thiessen here as well. Gentlemen, welcome. It is good to have you here today. Simon, let me get you. What's your take on this?
I think it's a lot of whining from a politician. I mean, you know, in my years in politics, if a politician is whining, it usually means they're losing. And I think the Republicans are losing this fight in the states where they're having this argument and across the country. If you look at the latest poll, Barack Obama is beating all Republican candidates now by 10 points, the biggest margin in a long time. A new poll that came out this week showed the Republicans in worse shape in the House than they were in 2007 at this point. This is the wrong argument for the Republicans at the wrong time, and I think they're paying a terrible price with the public over this.
I hear what you're saying, and I do want to get to that section of our discussion, but I'm curious if you think this is an appropriate use. You know, you think about the families who suffered through the Oklahoma City bombing, and is this sort of, you know, is this going someplace that is inappropriate to go?
No, I don't think it's inappropriate at all, because it's fact. Those firefighters in Oklahoma were there saving lives at that place at that time, right? And so I think it's just that video that we just all saw was a factual portrayal of something that they did to put their, unlike the politician who's attacking them, they were putting their lives on the line for the people of Oklahoma. That's
fact. No one disputes that.
And so I don't think it's in any way out of bounds.
No one disputes that. The question is whether or not it's appropriate to invoke that.
I think it's completely appropriate.
I want to get your thoughts on this, because you sent out some notes to us earlier. You have some interesting analogies for this.
Well, sure. I mean, look, we all support the firefighters and we appreciate the sacrifices they're making, but they're being very badly served by their union bosses with this ad. It's not only offensive, it's going to be very ineffective. First reason is it's overkill. They are invoking the worst domestic act of terrorism in the history of the United States in a bill, a dispute over the adjudication process for collective bargaining, not even whether there should be collective bargaining, or the adjudication process for collective bargaining. I mean, if you're going to bring out the big guns in a fight, it better be over something very big, and this doesn't fit the bill. And second of all, it's incredibly tasteless. I mean, imagine if this was in New York City, and they were doing an ad with pictures of the burning rubble of Ground Zero after 9/11, and they said, "We were there for you, now you need to be there for us." That's emotional blackmail. Yeah. And I think people don't respond well to emotional blackmail. So it's not even just that it's tasteless and inappropriate, but it's a really stupid ad.
Yeah, emotional blackmail is an interesting way to put it. And, you know, you do. Simon, I think that's the issue with this ad. You know, everybody, I think we've come to expect the tremendous service that we receive from our firefighters in these situations. You know, and on September 11th, you know, you cannot undermine the tremendous, loss of life. But then when you bring it up in discussion about collective bargaining and union rights and leadership of unions, it does leave a bad sort of, smell, I guess, in some situations.
Maybe to you, but I think the people of Oklahoma are going to make that determination. I mean, it may be the people on this show feel that way. I don't feel that way from watching that ad. I am incredibly, grateful for the way that firefighters and police officers put their lives on the line every day. One of the heroes, I mean, what's so ironic about what the politician is saying in Oklahoma is that there were other heroes that day in addition to the firefighters. But the firefighters were heroes too. It's completely appropriate for them to use one of their proudest moments in their own service in Oklahoma in a campaign to make the case that this is stuff that they need to do their job. I think it's completely within bounds, and it sounds like terrible political whining from a bunch of politicians who are losing a fight here.
All right. Well, as you say, the people of Oklahoma will be the ultimate deciders on the tastefulness or tastelessness of this ad, whichever it may be. Simon Rosenberg, thank you so much for weighing in on this. Mark Thiessen, our thanks to you as well today. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.